So this is a comprehensive video on what is SpeakCycle. It is a full stack application that I built. It is, in one sentence or two, a human AI hybrid language learning system that combines the best of both worlds, human tutoring as well as AI tutoring. So it is a platform where students for whom English is a second language can book classes with real experienced certified human tutors and have daily communications with personalized AI tutors that are given custom instructions based on the feedback received by the human tutors on the live class. So whatever analysis they do, whatever feedback they get from your performance on the live call will directly be reflected onto the performance of the AI. And that combining both of that into this one singular platform is what we have tried to do here, and we have successfully been able to achieve that. Now, the entire thing is built using AI. Backend, a huge percentage of the backend is powered using no-code automation tools like N8N. And the database tool is Supabase, which is powering or storing all the data from the app, and a couple of other tools that are necessary to for calendars, note-taking, payments. We're using Stripe for payments. So all of that kind of comes together and works just like any other SaaS platform here. So as I mentioned earlier, we built this entire thing using AI, and more specifically, we used Google's AntiGravity, which is a IDE or a development environment. As you know, it's a newer one, which kind of favors or is a little bit more or a lot more AI friendly, with primary focus on AI based development. So the models that we used were primarily Gemini 3 Pro, but towards the end we also tested out responses from Claude, which were also just fine. It worked perfectly fine as well. Now, what you're looking at is a progress record.md file. So it is just a Word document in which we've, from the start of the project till now, we've documented every step of the development and the progress that we have made. So every time we make a major change, it has been uploaded and recorded into this progress record.md. I might add this separately because I'm not going to read through the entire thing. As you can see, there's a lot to go through, but I just want to quickly touch on the tech stack that we used for the entire thing a little bit more in detail. So the framework we used is React 18, TypeScript. Styling is Tailwind, CSS, plus a couple of custom animations. The voice AI, which is the AI tutor, is powered by Google's Gen AI or Gemini's multimodal live API, which is fast and cheap and sounds really good, which you will see just in a second. The audio processing is a custom audio worklet for PCM 16 kilohertz streaming. Visualization is recharts with data dashboards. And finally, payments is powered by Stripe, and Stripe's checkout, cancellation, subscription, all of that, billing management, everything powered by Stripe. Then the backend and the orchestration, the database is Supabase, which I mentioned, and the middleware is N8N. So it is used for prompt engineering. We've got translation for the AI tutor. We've got session analysis, and then also multiple activities to connecting to Stripe, which we'll touch on everything just in a second. Then authentication, again, is using Supabase's native authentication feature that that allows for people to create accounts and using email addresses. All right, so coming back to the platform, the entire platform is kind of divided into these three primary sections or panels. So we've got an end that faces the student, which is the one that the student directly interacts with, which is the main thing that everybody sees. But on behind the scenes, we've got a teacher's end, where or through which the teacher panel is what I call it, through which the teacher does the AI configuration for the student, manages their progress, gives or assigns them tasks, etc. Then we've got an admin panel, through which the admin or the owner of the platform or anybody who he decides to assign as the admin, gets to overview or gets a quick overview of the platform, the business, the amount, the transactions. Also has the ability to manage elements and stuff throughout the app. So all of that lives in the admin panel. So we'll touch on all three, but we'll start off with the student end, which is, technically the most important one. So essentially, when you usually sign up for the first time, you get a free class, you've got to buy credits, etc., etc. So I'm not going to go through all of that. I've created a test account, which will kind of allow me to bypass the paywall because I made it, so might as well. But either ways, this is kind of like the first page that a student lands on. They get to see an activity overview, a calendar card, an assignment, a couple of quests that they'll be assigned initially, and an empty, recent class summary because they probably never booked a class. They also get to see the credits that they have. So credits is kind of this universal currency across the platform that students use to book live classes. So the pricing structure is technically a subscription model in which they get unlimited AI usage for all tiers, while the restriction is primarily on the number of live classes they are able to book. So that is kind of restricted or kind of controlled using these credits. Then we've got the AI tutor page, which before I dive into that, let me go through everything else and then I'll come to that because that is the most important one. This is where the students get to practice with the AI. The instructors page where they get to select, tutors who are certified in a certain method and style of teaching. These are human tutors. So this is connected with Calendly, a booking or a calendar management platform, which, whatever bookings made on this gets reflected on the platform as well as on the Calendly end as well. And we've got resources. This is a place where the teacher can essentially upload pre-recorded videos, audio, documents. So it's more like a course material if you want, just to simplify it. So it is where videos that the like pre-recorded videos, so maybe it can be of a class or it can be somebody else's video. It's usually a YouTube video link, so just to save storage, and it allows for documents as well as for audio files. Again, links from Google Drive or anything like that. Then we've got calendar. It is nothing extra here. It is just the calendar page, which allows for viewing the calendar. Then the progress tracking page. So this is where every kind of like the lifetime progress of the student is recorded and tracked. Now, coming back to the AI tutor, this, as I said, is probably the most important, kind of like the bread and butter of the app. We've got two options inside of the AI tutor. The one is called AI modules. These are more well-defined, not even just well-defined, strictly defined. So a clearly start and finish point for the conversation with a clearly defined objective. So they're either ordering food or some success stories. So these are all, we haven't yet created full, established modules yet. So it can be, taking an Uber, which is a premium module. It can be any of this. And, again, if it is a debate, then, test debates. I mean, you can add in conversations between students where the AI is trained on debating. These are all, we yet designing the module, so they're yet to come. Even the call mode is, being designed still. Then we've got the talk to a friend mode. So the talk to a friend mode is more of a free flow communication, which you can come back to every day. And the AI remembers everything we spoke about yesterday, and it will kind of continue the conversation without any issues. It'll just be like a friend. It'll be like a friend that you can just come to whenever you want throughout the day, at any time of the day, and speak to. The only thing is the AI will be kind of trained for teaching you how to speak English also a little bit. So it won't just be a friend, but it will also know a little bit about your about what you need help with as in regards to learning the English language. So here I already had a conversation. I left it in between, so that's why I was taken back to it. That's another thing. So if you want, you can pause the conversation and go about your day and come back to it if you'd like, and you can take it over from wherever you left off. So we'll just continue this and see how it sounds and get a feel for the quality of the voice. Hello.
Hey, Minaj. That makes sense. Good sleep and good food are important. You said your work was tiring yesterday. How do you feel today?
Yeah, I was a little tired, but now I feel okay.
That's good to hear. Did you do anything fun to relax today?
Yeah, I worked out. I took a walk. I went outside. Got the fresh air. It was pretty good.
That sounds so nice and refreshing. Getting fresh air is great. What is your favorite thing to do outside?
Well, it is usually just going for long, silent walks. That always helps me clear out my mind and think a little bit.
Silent walks can be really peaceful. It's a good way to relax and take a break. Do you have a
park downstairs is pretty cool.
Oh, that sounds nice. What do you like about it?
Okay, so I think I'll come back to it. Either ways, so that is how the AI, the talk to a friend mode looks like. And as far as modules are concerned, again, this is not a fully completed module. We're just still designing the modules, so don't expect it to be perfect. But again, you can hear the voice.
Hello, welcome to Chick-fil-A. What would you like to order?
Chicken burger, please.
Perfect. That is on the menu. It will be $12.
Can I pay by card?
Yes, you can pay by card.
Where's the machine?
Here you go. Thank you for ordering from Chick-fil-A. Wish to see you soon.
So yeah, I get awarded a couple of points for completing a module. Now, if you've already completed it once, there's logic behind preventing from multiple entries, etc., etc. So that kind of covers the student end of things. Now let's come to the teacher side of things and see how that works. Something that is a little different from other language learning apps is a specific teacher does not own a student. Neither is a student stuck with a specific teacher. So we've created that freedom for the student where they can choose from any teacher that is available or they like. However, as far as the teacher is concerned, they get this list or a general list of all the students across the platform, and they can just search up whichever student they're looking for. And at the end of every class, whatever feedback they want, they can update it here. So that is what we're going to take a look at right now. So when you go to, let's say, Manhaj test. So this is how the AI configuration kind of looks like. So I do not add anything here. My account is brand new. Even this teacher account is just a test account. So what essentially the teacher will do is it'll add description of the student, interests, level, first language, all this stuff that you're seeing here. Also kind of adjust these skill focus areas based on how skilled the student is. So the free class that is given initially before the student ever pays for anything is kind of aimed at configuring the AI as soon as they join the platform. So that first interaction the teacher will have with the student will give the teacher enough information to kind of fill this out, because we'll have a questionnaire that kind of allows them to make sure all information is collected. And when this is filled out, the AI then knows exactly everything it needs to know about the student and how the AI should help the student, how the conversation need to flow, the words to use, so the key vocabulary, so the type of words or the actual words that the AI need to fill into each sentence so that the student can practice communicating it is also shown in here. With that, we also have the assignments section. So the assignment section is where the teacher assigns a task to this specific student. Now, kind of like the highlight of it is, the teacher has the ability to attach a resource, the one that we saw on the student dashboard, to that assignment. So if the teacher wants the student to learn a specific assignment or a specific resource, this it'll be linked to the task, and they can just go to that resource with one click. So that is one way that just kind of optimizes that human interaction as well, and it's not just primarily or just like completely focused on AI alone. And we've got the progress section. There's pretty much the same progress section on the student dashboard. It just just reflects the same data. There's nothing much over there. With that, we move to the admin panel, which is the final piece of the puzzle. It is where admins are able to get a detailed overview of the platform, its business side of things, the revenue, the total number of students, instructors, AI usage cost. They get a plan breakdown. So there are 3 plans. Right now, there's only students on the max plan and the free plan, but there's one more in between. So if there's anybody over there, there'll be a 3-plan breakdown of how many students on each. We get new subscriptions, recent activities, total sales. So a simple line graph dictating total sales. So this is kind of like a dashboard of the financial overview of the platform. And we move to the instructor management section. So this is where there'll be a list of instructors that has been onboarded. Now there's only one instructor at this point, so there's only one instructor. You get to view their profile just like how they set it up through the teachers panel. Also, you get to add new instructors. So if you want to bring on a new teacher, then you can add a new teacher. You can set them an initial password, an email address, also a Calendly integration. So this will be the teacher's specific calendar. So this is the one that is going to be shown for the student. So the teacher can make changes to it on their Calendly account, and it'll get reflected directly onto the platform. Then we have the students page. The students page does not give that much of a configuration view on each profile, rather an overview of the student's activity. So like transactional activity, account status, performance, basic details, like basic contact details, and name, etc. There's nothing big or massive going on here. You can do something that is delete students if you want to. So if you want to remove a student, this is where you do it from. And finally, we've got one of the most exciting parts of the app as well as the admin panel. So it is the manage app section. So this is where you make changes to the app. Now, you don't get a literal drag and drop designing tool inside of it, at least not for the MVP scope right now, but you can make few significant changes that actually affect the app on the front end for the student. Starting off with the resource library. So this is where you add in new resources. As I said, you can choose from video, audio, document, or an external link, like a website if you want to. Then you can set up categories, descriptions, name, title, etc. And these resources are going to be displayed for the student to access whenever instructed, or if they want to, it'll be like a course module. They can watch on their own pace, at their own pace. Then we've got AI modules. So these are called scenarios as well. Initially, we have a very high level input for the talk to a friend mode, which, as you saw, is an indefinite conversation that a student can have with an AI that is trained on their interests, goals, required vocabularies, etc., etc. But this does not very heavily impact the performance of the AI. As you can see, we've given very simple instructions because a lot of information has already been fed into the prompt generator that you will see in just a second. That lives inside of N8N. So that is the AI model that is responsible for generating the actual system prompt, or the actual prompt that the AI on SpeakCycle is going to use. So this just kind of feeds it in like a little persona that the user or the admin can add into it. Then the modules, this has significant functions that you can do from here. In fact, you can create a whole module from scratch. So modules, as I explained, is definitive conversations, like a more defined conversation with a clearly defined start and end point. So it comes with a script. So you can create that script along with suggested responses, which are the ones that pop up as a hint for the student. So if they're struggling to give a response or don't know what to say, then this is the response that will be added. So it does not mean that the student has to stick to the script. They can say their own thing, but because it is not just a static model here, but it is an AI model, so that whatever the response you give, it will try to bring back the conversation to the script so that it can complete the conversation flow. But here you can add in a couple of details like description, titles, more defined roles and tones, styles, and personas. So this is also going to be fed into the AI when the prompt for that module is generated. Then coming to the gamification section. So this is pretty fun. This is the whole gamification engine of the app. First, we have the global economics. So we've got three primary elements of the app that we use to track the progress of the student. So we've got AI minutes, so how many minutes they practiced on the using the AI, how many modules or scenarios they completed, how many live classes they completed. So each of this, so 10 points for every minute of class completed, 50 points for a scenario, and 50 points for a live class. So we've got a streak bonus as well. So 7 days in a row, you get a 1.5x multiplier. Then we've got quest manager. So what you just saw was the kind of, again, as the name suggests, the global economics, the global currency conversion over here. And the quest manager is where you create the actual quests and the challenges. And there's a couple of stuff that you can change in here, so like when it's practiced, like the trigger logic, target value, frequency, required level. So you can actually assign certain quests as an option for a specific level only. So that is something that I thought of as well. And then finally, we've got pricing plans, pricing management. This is where the different subscription tiers and additional class prices and the Stripe price IDs are placed. Don't worry, these are just test IDs, so you will not be able to do anything with it. But this is how the admin can change the prices for the subscriptions on the platform. And we've got USD as well as Brazilian currency. Well, I don't know what it is called, but because the teacher has a lot of students from Brazil who's trying to learn English, so that is the thing. You can also update number of classes that are included in each tier, and every tier has unlimited AI usage, making that, that's the reason why that is not an option here. So yeah, that kind of completes the high level walkthrough of the app. Now I'll be getting into a little bit more into the backend and how the different parts of the backend work, which will give you a complete picture on how I built this entire thing. So the first and one of the most important part of the backend is N8N. N8N is a no-code automation platform that actively powers the entire platform. So one by one, we've got 8 active workflows. One by one, if we go through, first we have the prompt loading workflow. What this essentially does, this works primarily for the talk to a friend mode. This AI model is responsible for generating the system prompt for the talk to a friend. So all of the AI tutor configuration that is set up inside of through the teacher panel is fed into this AI model every time a student clicks on the talk to a friend mode and tries to have a conversation with it. So the webhook is triggered. All of the payload from the app is received. It includes all of the configuration from the AI tutor configuration and sent to this AI model, which is given clear instructions on how the system prompt need to look like, what the end result of the AI talk to a friend mode needs to be, and it generates the perfect system prompt for that. End of session workflow is technically, again, triggered at the end of every session. So in the progress page on the student platform or on the student front end, there will be a section that pops up at the end of every AI session or every talk to a friend mode or any AI module or session, which will reflect information derived from this AI model. So what this does is it summarizes the conversation. It'll be fed transcript of the entire conversation, and it summarizes the entire thing and gives feedback based on what it understands about the English language. So it's not a big model, but it does its job. Thirdly, we've got the speech translation agent. So inside of the talk to a friend mode, we have an option called Asian, which I don't know if I touched on. I think I didn't, but there is an option called translation. So every time a student tries to translate the English text to their home language, so the teacher can set that on their end in the configuration section. So whatever the mother tongue of the student is, they can translate it to that language. What do you say? Provided that the language is available in the list as well as with the AI. Then we've got the Calendly booking workflow, which again is as simple as it sounds. It books a new booking into the Calendly. I mean, every time a new booking is recorded in the Calendly calendar, it updates the Supabase database as well as the status of trial. So as it sounds, whenever a new Calendly booking is generated, it triggers the Calendly trigger, and if it is a new booking, it creates a new row in the bookings table, which is inside of Supabase. We've got a bookings table somewhere here. So we've got a bookings table into which the booking is created, a new row is created. Now, if it is a trial, then the trial status. So trial means, so if it is a trial class, it will update the trial status as booked. So trial class is the first free class that every student gets. It is identified based on the calendar and the the trigger. So there is a UTM that is sent through, including inside of the input that is received from Calendly. Then if it is cancellation or rescheduling, it goes down the cancel booking route and it cancels the booking. Then we've got end of class report. So this is the report that is generated at the end of every class. So every teacher gets a note taker. We're using Fathom note taker. So I ran a couple of tests. So Fathom note taker is the tool that we're using. So every teacher, at this point, there's only one teacher. So the teacher gets a Fathom note taker, which is the one that triggers this webhook. So once the class is ended, the note taker is the one that triggers the webhook, and it fetches the teacher, it fetches the booking ID, and then updates the booking status and a summary of the session. And you might have seen, I don't know if you remember, in the first student front end, there is a section that says recent class summary, which gets updated from this workflow. The checkout page, this is pretty complex, so I'm not going to go into all of it. I'll just tell you what each branch does. Subscription. So if it is a new subscription, then a new checkout page is generated. So essentially how it works is for every checkout page generated by Stripe. So for every kind of product, they call it a product. For every action, there's a new, for every product, there's a new checkout page generated by Stripe. So Stripe generates the checkout page based on what we select. So the subscription, so if it is a subscription, then it generates a page for subscription. If it is updating a subscription, then it does the updation. It does not generate a checkout page. Then if it is managing billing, so then there is a billing portal, a customer portal that opens up. Then cancellation of subscription, this happens within the app, but the update happens in or goes into Stripe and reflects back on the app. Resume subscription, so if the subscription is cancelled, they get a couple of days before they, if they want to, they can resume it, avoid the cancellation. So the plan actually gets cancelled at the end of their next term or the beginning of their next term. Then we've got add-on. So this is again for the credits. It again generates a checkout page. So if anytime somebody tries to buy a new credit, this workflow gets triggered and a new checkout page is generated. Then we've got the payment confirmation workflow. This again is triggered from Stripe. So every time an invoice or a checkout page is completed, this workflow gets triggered, and based on whatever the subscription tiers are that we just saw, it goes down each branch, updates the database on the backend, that is Supabase, and each table, each row gets its own update based on the tiers that the purchase was made on. Now, if it is an add-on purchase, so if it is credits purchase, then only the credits get updated, and this is an RPC, which is technically, everything is an RPC. So what it is technically is an external trigger. There's a full form for it. I can't remember it now, but it triggers the database technically and performs a function, it executes a query. And finally, I think, yeah, we've got subscription renewal. So this is an automatic workflow. So whenever an invoice is successful, so that is how Stripe calculates the subscriptions. Whenever that is successful, this workflow gets triggered. Now, right now we are in the development process, we use Stripe's test account. Let me just walk you through that differences. So in Stripe, we've got a test mode as well as live. What we are on right now, that is called the test mode. During the development process, during the final handover stages, right now we are in the test. Now, once people are actually coming in to start paying money, we switch all of this. So both of this test and live mode are like completely two different platforms itself, and all of what is inside of it, the keys, the products, the prices, everything is totally separate from the live account. So it is totally two different separate accounts. So once we are ready to proceed with the live products, then what happens is we got to go back to the admin panel and switch over the price IDs, as well as all of the webhooks need to get replaced with the live API keys. So that is the big change that we'll have to do when moving from test account to the live account. Now, coming back here, we've got Supabase, where all of the data is stored. I'm not going to get too much into all of this because there's a lot to get into, but each table does its own thing. We've got the main tables are activity logs table, where all the activity, that is the AI minutes, the classes, and the modules are recorded like day by day, so session by session. Whereas we've got the student stats table all the way in the bottom, where the lifetime XP, lifetime AI minutes, classes, module completed is recorded. So this is the overall progress of a student. It is one row per student table, so kind of a table. Then we've got the recordings table, where the recordings usually come in, so that is end of class reports, etc. Quest claims. So this is when a student finishes a quest. Whenever they claim a quest, so just to avoid double entry, this is the quest claim tables is there for. Another important one is bookings table. This is where all the bookings get in. The transactions table, anytime a transaction is made, this is where it gets recorded. The profiles table, which is probably the most important one. Every time a new profile is created, this is where it comes in. This is where the app gets the information on whether it is a whether it is a student, whether it is a teacher, admin, or whether they are a subscriber, or I is unlocked or not. Trial status, if they've completed the trial or not, then the subscription tier, their price ID, customer ID, all of that lives inside over here. So with that being said, the database part, I'm not going to go too much into it, so I'm going to leave it there. Then we've got the note taker that I already touched on. And finally, we push the entire thing to GitHub. GitHub, as I said, I don't think I mentioned this, but it is a virtual repository. So whatever changes we made inside of coding environment technically lives inside of our computer. We cannot publish it. We cannot do anything with it unless we push it to a virtual repository like this. So GitHub is the most popular one out there, and this is what is used by pretty much all the developers out there in the world. And this is the GitHub repository. Now, it is called Langlearn because I think I mentioned it earlier. We initially called it Langlearn, and this account was created when we started off the project long back. So this is where it's a private repository. So, anybody cannot just come and access your code. But this is where it all lives. This is the one that is connected to Vercel. Vercel is the hosting platform that is through which the entire thing is deployed. So this is connected to Vercel. So Vercel is where it is connected to in its domain. So the SpeakCycle.com is connected or is hosted on Vercel. So yeah, that is how it works. With that, I think we kind of sum up the entire thing. Thank you so much.